YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bender here, coming to you with a day profile with
Byron Harris.
Byron Harris. It's a Draco Slayer day profile, one of the hottest decks that came off multiple YCS tops in the TCG and OCG, and he's gonna give you his list and his reasons why he played certain cards. You can go start.
Yeah. So you know the standard ones. You play 3 Ignis Phoenix, 3 Majesty, 3 Dynamist, and then 3 Luster, and then only 1 Master. It's kind of the worst one to draw because if you draw it, unless you actually have an Ignis, it doesn't do anything. Pretty much really what this here is just a low scale along with Majesty. And it also, you can search this off of a later card, you'll see the Odd Eyes Revolution, just in case. But pretty much standard ratios. I mean, no one will disagree with this.
It's good to see Luster back. He was at 1 at one point.
Yeah. That's the Draco Slayer core right there. Now we're going to go to like the Magician / Performapal core. I go 3 Skullcrobat instead of Babuku, just because I think this is better because you can get Magician, Odd Eyes, or Performapal. Whereas Babuku only gets you to your Majesty.
And people not playing Ash as much either now.
Yeah. Plus, if they imperm this, that's better because then your Beyond's going to go through. You know that. And then 1 Moki board, 1 Synchron. This is really just to make Baron. It's kind of like just adding the end phase off of your XCs you'll see later on. But this is just like a Baron combo. It gets you an Omni negate real easy.
Yeah. And that's a big really beat stick.
Yeah. And then 1 Harmonizing, 1 Purple Poison. These are really just to get like a big board out. You don't always go for this. If you don't have a low scale, you won't search this. You'll search a low scale instead. But if you have a low scale and a high scale, you'll go for this. This way you can get a 3 format Apple plus Abyss Dweller and Hope Harbinger. And then the best card in the deck, not once per turn, Odd Eyes Revolution.
Yeah.
Pay 500, add your best card. Or place in the Pendulum scale, bring back your Ignis, use Ignis, link it off. Place in Pendulum scale, bring back Ignis, not once per turn. This is probably the best card in the deck. Nothing less to say about that one.
Yeah.
And then just because we're in a tier format, I play 2, 2, and 2. I don't like 3, 3, and 3, or 2, 2, 2, or 2, 2, 1. You know, all the other ratios. I like 2 of each because I want to see a name, but I don't want to see too many of just one name because against tier, you would need at least 2. If you get 1, you're not going to win.
Would you play 1 Drake when it come out?
It's okay. The only problem with it is because you need another Bestial on the field. So unless you draw, so even with that, I probably would go 2, 2, 2, 1. But I would never go 2, 2, 2, 2. Or I might even test 2, 2, 1, 1 to see how that goes too, depending on what the format is when it comes out. But it's okay. I think in a more like branded Bestial build or like something like that plays pure Bestials, I think it'd be better. Just because you need a Bestial on field. And then like the random other hand traps that are just for rogue matchups, just in case. The Effect Veilers in the main, just because it's also another spellcaster, so you can summon this off of Selene. So if you're going second, it's really nice. And then I'm a weirdo, so I play 3 Ash still, just because it's nice. There's no real reason for these. It's more or less I needed like some hand traps instead of Bestials to play, and I felt like this would be more generic going into like a local scene than rather like a regionals or that. It makes it better. And then just the 1 Sky Iris. You don't want to play 2, 3. I don't even know if it's at 2 or 3. I think it's at 1. But even if it was at more than that, I still want to play 1. It gets you all of your Revolutions or your Skullcrobat if you need it. 1 Broda to get you the Ignis Phoenix. It's just like another extender kind of sometimes, or if your hands are dead, it just gets you to your Ignis. Double tax because everyone's trying to play on your turn, whether it's Flu, Tier, even the Churia wants to play on your turn, you know, all the other ones, and then just Prosperity for consistency, because sometimes you can break in here, or if you build a full board, it's nice to like get this and then make sure you get guaranteed follow-up for next turn.
Same with the talents, just having more chances to get out of bad hands. And
plus, actually, talents won me my round 2 versus tier. I had double talents, so I drew both. He built the full board, and I just talents him first turn, and I broke his board, and next turn I talents him again, and I won.
Yeah.
So talents is pretty broken in this format, just because.
It's a power card.
It is. 40 in the main card. Now we'll go with the extra deck. Tilting Entertainment. This is just to make Barone. Pretty much you use the Synchron plus Monkey Board to make this, and then this summons back the Synchron, and then you make Barone with it. That's really all it's in there for. You could easily take this out if you want to. Those aren't really that special, you know. I just like it because it's guaranteed Barone. Just one Ignister. You don't need two because you're never going to summon the second one. That's fine. Just the one Dynamite, just because you're never going to summon the second one. Just the one's always working. One Majesty, same reason for the other ones. You only need one. You're never going to summon the second one. Abyss Dweller, Baguska, pretty broken. You know, this is for Flu, for Naturia, for all those other ones that don't link summon, and then obviously for Tier or any other graveyard decks. Hope Harbinger, just because when you put up your Appaloosa, sometimes it's only at 24, so you just summon this and then you force them to attack this instead. And then your Appaloosa is always safe. And it's really easy to make because you just use these two, and you're always summoning these two each turn, because they just keep your combo going. For the Link monsters, Seals, this one rarely comes up for me just because I don't go into the Sloth play because I think it's kind of like bricky. So like try and like force my opponent to lock out the extra deck, but they can just keep playing around it. But it's nice because if you brick on two Bystials, you summon this, pass, and then you can pop, like bounce their card, then summon out Magnamut in their end phase, add a Revolution.
And it's non-targeted too, so that comes
up. Beyond, just one. When Cashier comes around, maybe two, but just one right now, just because Cashier is not really reveling, so they're not ripping your Beyond out of your deck right now. But probably next month, I'll probably be end up playing two. One Dark, one Hida. Dark's just standard Link. Everyone should play it because everyone's playing Dark and you can get Darks. Hida, just because you can summon Ignis, and then you can go Ignis plus any other card, summon Hida, and everyone's playing Sprite Elf. So you steal their Elf, and then you make access code real quick.
Or Ash. Ash is another popular one.
Yeah, so it's really easy to make access code with this because everyone's playing Ash and Elf. So like it's... This one probably you don't need to play. You can easily swap this out with anything else, but I like it just because it's easier access code. Celine, this is your main combo. This allows you to get to your Appaloosa. You use Celine just to make the Appaloosa, pretty much. You don't really use, I'll show this right here, Celine to make access codes. Sometimes you do, but mainly this is just for this combo. And then, you know, obviously your access code because you want to kill out. You gotta have a big body at the end.
Anytime you can go for game, go for game.
Yeah.
That's how you win matches. That's how you win tournaments.
Plus, sometimes at the end, you might just be able to pen summon, like, few at the end, but you can't actually link off or synchro into anything. So you at least have him to pop cards at the end and still put a board presence. That's
if you Dark Ruler, help you break all boards. Yeah, especially because you don't play Zeus.
Yeah, that's the main and the extra. 40 card main, 15 extra, obviously. We'll go into the side. My side was not really like prominently for like tier or anything. It was more or less for every other matchup.
Rogue, 2.
Yeah. 3 Nib. I actually do play this against tier because they're not really going for the Rokalos, but like this hits every deck, even against Sprite, because they don't go Gigantic right away. They'll go the Sprint combo, send, Angler, summon all, and then you nib them then, and then they don't really keep playing unless they have another continuing card, you know? Nib is still pretty good. I like it. Normally, this is not Droll, but I've been playing a lot against Dark Worlds at locals lately, so I put 2 Droll in just in case, because if you don't draw any hand traps against Dark World, they just hand loop you for 4, and then you kind of like just cry, pretty much. And then my kind of favorite card that no one really ever plays, but they always were weirded out by it, Blizzard. Instead of playing Judgment or anything like that, I like to play Blizzard. You can just target any spell card, and then you negate that spell card, bounce it back to hand. You don't pay any life points, and it's a quick play, so you can activate on your turn too in case they want to use their Fluendaries map, or if they want to use their Tearlament Pirlarino, so you can negate it. So it's pretty nice.
How many did you activate on me in game 3? How many of those?
All 3.
You activated all 3 of them.
Yeah.
All 3, and it helped them get second place.
Double Lightning Storm and a Harpies. So this would be 3 Lightning Storms instead of like one of the Drolls. But I took out 1 Lightning Storm for a Droll. And then this is really just for like Flunder or any like rogue matchup where like they play a lot of floodgates. Like the
Yeah,
water
draw
control.
helps against Flunder too.
Yeah, I don't like Droll as much because they play Deep Fissure and
Yeah, macro.
macro, so I like the L-Storm instead. But this is like for rogue or water control or Flunder. It just helps out to equalize because sometimes they can just put up too much back row and you're kind of just sitting there. One zombie roll for Flunder. The other roll would actually be Necro Valley, but I'm still waiting for it right now. I didn't actually really need it until my final round. That was really where it came into like a big factor. Otherwise, like the Dweller plus the other stuff was pretty good. These are just extras. And then the final one, just 3 Imperm.
It is a powerful card.
I mean, if you're not playing Imperm, I understand it, but like this card is just so broken.
Yeah.
You can just set it on your turn going first, and then you kill that whole column. Or going second, you hit their kit, their other cards, you know, Gigantic, because no one's really putting up carrots. So like they're putting up Ricks, they're thinking you're going to do a Monster Negate or a Hobness. Imperm is just such a good card. It's so versatile.
Yeah, it's the best hand trap ever.
The only hand trap that's actually a trap that you can activate from your hand.
Yeah, and does damage.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so other than that, thanks for the day profile. He's been doing well with it. He's been having fun. It's good to see Pendulum back. How you feel about Pendulum can top again?
Pendulum best deck, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.